Joanna Shakti is a founder and a mentor of Ecstatic Intimacy, dating and relationship coach, tantra teacher, spiritual guide. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
You are so welcome, my dear. Thank you for hosting.
All those titles, they like so resonate with my heart, and I think they're so juicy and beautiful and make people like to dive deep into that beautiful life. Like Master Your Brilliance.
Yes, that's exactly.
Master it. So,
where would you like to start?
Oh, you have bring so much on the table. Love. Let's talk about love.
Let's talk about love. Oh, love is such an ecstatic topic, and yet it's such a painful topic. And there's so many illusions and myths when it comes to love. And what does it mean to be in love, and how do I get love, and where do I find love, and how do I stay in love? And truthfully, it is our own relationship with love, each individual, our relationship with love, that defines the quality of the experience that we're going to share with another in a dance in love. But one of the things that really causes so much pain is the imagination that I'm going to get love.
Oh,
from someone.
Yeah.
And yes, Rumi, staying in love. I'm seeing the comment. And to bring up Rumi, one of my favorite quotes in the way that I work with individuals and couples on this journey of love is that it's not our job to seek for love, but simply to seek for everything that obscures our connection in love. And actually, and I was reminded recently that that is sometimes attributed to A Course in Miracles and sometimes attributed to Rumi. So I'll give both credit for that. But it's love is here for us in such a powerful way, on a physical level, an emotional level, a spiritual level. And it is our job to make ourselves available for it.
You mean receiving?
I certainly mean receiving, and I actually mean experiencing more than I mean receiving. Yes, because receiving, if we just focus on the receiving part, it means that love is out there. We have to do something.
Okay.
And that we could not have it. So I'll tell a little bit of my story. It's a beautiful example, and I've seen this happen so many times. Is that there was a time when I married 6'3", blonde-haired, blue-eyed, par golfer, concert pianist, valedictorian, you name it, he was the guy. And before that, there had been a part of me, and during that, a part of me that didn't believe that I was actually lovable. That was so seeking. When I was young, I had a t-shirt that said, "If I follow you home, will you keep me?" It was like I was looking for that love. And I married this guy because he was amazing. And I ignored all of the things that said, maybe this isn't such an amazing relationship. But if he loves me, that must mean something. And I had this hole. And the poor man, he didn't have a chance to love me enough to fill the hole that was in me. Grasping more, reassure me, tell me more, tell me I'm beautiful, tell me. And never did I believe him. Never did I trust him. And so this path of love that we're talking about is a path that allows us not only to receive, but to experience love and to trust it and to be fully available for it. Because if we're hiding parts of ourselves, if we think we're not enough, if we think we have to do something to earn love, all these things that I did, if I had to prove that I was worthy of it, then I will never, no matter what that person does, because I don't believe on some level that I can have it. And most of the time, the stuff is running unconsciously.
Yeah.
But if I don't believe I can have it, nothing he or she could ever do would have me feel it, because I'm trying to hide a part of myself. And if I'm trying to hide a part of myself, how can I ever believe that they love me? Because if they knew, then they wouldn't. So there's never a real opening until we are in that relationship with ourselves. And I am not people's favorite all the time, because I will tell you the truth, because I went through the pain of marrying that guy and going through the divorce and wondering why I was meeting all the sexually inhibited men and why I couldn't have an orgasm and why I, where is all the love and how am I going to get it? And I fell on my face time and time again.
Yeah.
And I hated the guy in college that said, I'm not going to go out with you because you don't love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, there's no way you can love me. And I'm like, you're crazy. Pissed me off. I can still remember where I was. I'm like, you're so wrong. Fast forward 14 years.
Yeah.
He was so right. He was. So the love is, it sounds cliche, but love is the most powerful force in the universe.
Yeah.
And our relationship to it, 360 degrees.
Yeah.
Internally, with everyone that we relate to, with life itself, with the divine, however we hold that.
Right. Yeah.
That's love.
Yummy. I feel it. Wow.
Mm.
What was the mind shift for you? Like, what did it take from you to kind of surrender and really uncover that?
Yeah, it's interesting. So the piece, and you used a very curious word when you asked me that question. And the word you used was surrender. And so while I was seeking for love and dealing with the worthiness issues and dealing with the sexuality issues, which are going to be in the middle of the worthiness and what we're about to talk about, that I also discovered the masculine and feminine energies that live within us.
Yeah.
And for those that are not familiar with it, masculine and feminine are energies. They are not equivalent to genders or sex, which is where they're confused sometimes. And we don't get, when they're confused, it can sound like it's stereotyping and putting somebody into a role. And we're not talking about that at all. We're talking about how do those two energies express within each of us and between us. And masculine and feminine energy are like magnets. And when they come together, when opposite sides of the magnets come together, they come together and they stick. And it actually takes some force to pull them apart. But if you flip one of those,
right,
then they actually repel each other. So one of the ways that I tried to prove that I was worthy, besides the fact that I was good at math and science, but one of the ways was to get out into the world and prove myself in a corporate environment and climb that ladder. And one of the things I prided myself on 25 years ago was outmanning the men. I got promoted, I got recognition, I was exhausted, I was miserable, and I couldn't have an orgasm.
Yeah.
And I walked around like, where are all the strong men? But there wasn't a possibility of me actually finding, or it was really rare. And then the ones that I might find that were quote unquote stronger than me were not ones that I wanted to be in relationship with. And so I blamed it on the men for years. And then there was a wake-up call, and somebody said to me, okay, here's what masculine and feminine actually means. And I went, oh my God, this explains my success. This explains my misery. This explains my exhaustion. This explains my orgasm issues and my sexuality issues. And from there, the divine masculine and the divine feminine are the relationship in love. They are universal opposite expressions, including of love. And the giving and the receiving are the most obvious of those dynamics in love. But there are many ways that they show up in our love and our sexuality. And so it was that woke me up to, I have to figure this out for myself. And then I have to serve women so they don't have to go through the pain that I went through. And I have to serve men so they don't go through the pain that I put men through. Because it was true. The guys that I was in relationship with, it was tough. It was tough.
Sure.
And they tried and they were good. And so there is so much judgment of the masculine and so much judgment of the feminine by men and women alike. And for me, the surrender, going back to your question, was, oh, there's something I don't know. Sure, I've heard the words, but I don't understand how this applies to me, but some part of me knows it does. So now let me surrender into, damn it, I want it to be about the men. I want it to just be the unavailability. I want it to be about their unconsciousness. I want it to be about them. And I had to surrender to say, okay, change me, that changes. And it wasn't even, change me isn't even the right word. Find me, reveal me, in the sense of all the masks and the facades that we wear.
Yeah.
Trying to be the one that we think will be loved. And that's the worst thing we could do when it comes to actually having a strong relationship.
Right. Not being truly authentic and true to yourself, right?
Absolutely. So one of the things that I say in our programs is the strength of the relationship with you limits the strength of the relationship you can have with anyone else. And it can be irritating to hear. And we have to stop blaming others, but it gives us our power back. And what I watch is when people come back home to themselves, to something that I call ecstatic authenticity. That it feels so good to know who I am, what my needs are, what my desires are, what my joys are, what my passions are, what my turn-ons are, and what my turn-offs are, what my boundaries are, what are my deal breakers. And love, and it's not even about love, because this whole self-love thing, believe me, I've been through this journey, that concept is really hard to grasp. But when we bring a practicality to it, how do I have a relationship with myself?
Yeah.
When I have a relationship with myself, I know my needs, wants, desires, turn-ons, turn-offs. We're usually motivated to figure those things out about our partners. But so often we don't know them about ourselves. And so coming into that space where I know who I am, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because we all got it. And I'm willing to let you see me in all of that, because I like who I am. And that is the transition point from part one, the journey with self, to part two, the journey with other, which is ecstatic intimacy. So in the first part, the intimacy is into me, I see. In the ecstatic intimacy part, the relating part, it's into me, you see.
Yeah.
I'm letting you see into all of me. And this is the place where the masculine and the feminine dance together. It's where we deepen heart to heart, body to body, soul to soul. It's where conflict and challenge, which if we're talking about soul love and soulmates, it's another illusion that we're going to come together and it's all going to be roses and rainbows. Like we come together to evolve each other's souls, which means there are going to be the moments of challenge. And what we need to do is know how to navigate those in a way so that the challenge becomes the communion. The conflict becomes the connection, and it strengthens and deepens the bond rather than separating us. And oh, by the way, if you marry ecstatic authenticity and ecstatic intimacy, you get ecstatic ecstasy, which is the sacred union, which is the reverence, the devotion, the take your breath away moments of life. And not just the moments that take your breath away, but truly when we get into that ecstatic ecstasy part of the journey, life takes our breath away. And so this is when we really journey with soul love. We get to ecstatic ecstasy.
Wow. Wow. Amazing.
So yummy. You said juicy at the beginning, and I'm like, yes, that.
That's why I'm like, wow.
The sensual, the juicy, the rich, the alive, I didn't know it could feel this good.
Yeah. But what steps do you need to take, or did you actually take to really get into those places and connect with those parts?
Yeah, the steps really, as much as, and especially the people that I work with that are in relationship, they're like, wait, you want us to start individually? Yeah. Yes, because what's happening between you is because of what's happening within you, each of you. And so it's always starting. Now, the good news is that most of the people I work with, that phase is 3 or 4, maybe 6 months of spending some time on ourselves. And many of us have been decades of trying to figure this out. So a few months doesn't actually, those few months are well spent. And what are the key things in that journey with self? One of them is to look at how accepting am I of myself. There is something called the diamond of sacred you, and it's really the practical way. It's almost when we look at this diamond that's on the vertical, it's how do we move through these layers of relating with self so that we move from, for some, as much as self-denial, all the way up through self-acknowledgement and self-acceptance and self-honor and self-respect, and then self-expression, and then self-actualization and self-realization. And we move through this journey with self. And another piece is the attraction aspect. Like, so often we think that we're supposed to be something to be attractive. But the most attractive we are is when we are actually ourselves. It's when we're not putting on any kind of mask or front. We're not trying to be anything. It's sometimes why the ones that we're least attracted to are most attracted to us, because if we're not that attracted to them, then we're going to be ourselves, which makes us more attractive. So coming home to it feels safe, inspiring, empowering, and loving to be ourselves. And then the third piece is the masculine and the feminine dynamic. And how do each of those energies, we all have both. For most, one is predominant. And that it is through that discovery that then when we come into authentic alignment with those energies within ourselves, again, it amplifies that magnetic attraction. And all of a sudden we're attracting the ones that we're attracted to. And our sexuality can ignite, our sensuality can ignite. And we come together and we stick. That attraction can last over time and not burn out fast. So those are the places that we start, is masculine and feminine, is the self-expression, which is the attraction, and the relationship to self, so that who's showing up in relationship is our authentic self.
Wow. Actually showing up as yourself, I think that's a big one for a lot of people, because we are used to dressing certain way, doing hair certain way, makeup, everything, right? In order finding yourself attractive. But then if you are really, really connected, like, do I actually like that? Does it feel good to me? Or I'm just doing it because?
Yes, that. Exactly. So I find that many women, I'll use women for example right now, that when they discover that they think they're masculine, like I did predominantly, and then they discover femininity, they do actually move to often different clothing or different makeup or less makeup or more makeup or different hair, but it's because they're finding the authenticity.
Yeah.
And not because they were supposed to do something. The supposed tos are the most excruciating.
Yeah.
And they erode trust on a huge level. And that goes for the masculine as well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's beginning to look at what we do and why we do it. And starting to pull away all that was never us to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that happens is we start to form our identity based on what other people say.
Right.
Starting with our families of upbringing.
Yeah.
And then what the kids on the playground said and what the teachers said and what our churches might have said, what our communities might have said, what the people that we were attracted to said who weren't attracted to us. And we start to buy into everybody else's opinion of who we're supposed to be. And that is heavy and it's painful.
Yeah.
And one of the most painful end results of that is that we're not authentically showing up in relationship. And so then the relationship can't have any strength.
Wow. That's why so many marriages fail.
It is.
How long
It
can
is.
you play it all? Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How long? Another thing that happens in relationships that's completely related to our relationship to ourselves is where we try to be the nice girl, the nice guy, the people pleaser, the conflict avoider, the peacemaker, all of those things that we think are going to keep the relationship together. But one of my clients brought me an article from Margaret Paul years ago, who's a therapist, 40-year marriage therapist. And she said the number one thing that destroys relationships, self-abandonment.
Mm.
And I'd
Yeah.
been teaching this for years. And then somebody brought this particular article. There's now articles on my site where I speak about it as well. But that validation of 40 years of working with couples.
Wow.
And that is the biggest destroyer, is us abandoning ourselves. And one of the biggest results of abandoning ourselves is resentment.
Of course.
And resentment is a killer of love. Killer of love.
Wow. And the abandoning goes on both sides, male and female.
Absolutely. Oh, self-abandonment, we all do it. Anywhere on the gender spectrum. It happens at different levels. Some are master self-abandoners, and some are occasional self-abandoners, but even the occasional wreaks havoc.
So how would you change that? How do you show up authentically? And your partner needs to show up authentically. Like, how would that look like?
Yeah, so you worry less about your partner.
Okay, you just do you.
You do you, and the relationship's going to change. And the ways that we do you is we're moving towards ecstatic authenticity, to go back to that Rumi quote or the Course in Miracles quote. But our job is to remove all the barriers to love.
Yeah.
That's where you start, because the barriers to love are the barriers to self-love, which then turn into the barriers in other love. So it's removing all of the reasons that we abandon ourselves, all of the reasons that we think we should put them as the priority over us. It's, again, another myth. They should be the number one priority. No, put yourself first, then you can have a strong relationship. Put yourself second or bottom of the list, you'll have a weak relationship. So it's that coming back here, and our mindset, our beliefs, our stories, our judgments, the conditioning, it really is where the core of the work is. And to have those key questions that have us notice, oh, that's what I'm telling myself under the surface. Oh, that's why I do that. So we use a sacred self-inquiry, very conscious, to go in and get to know ourselves and get to know the stories we tell, the beliefs we hold, the vows we've made that keep us from being authentic. Ecstatically authentic, to be specific.
I love that word. Oh my God, right? That is like ultimate.
Yeah, like it's supposed to be juicy. Life is supposed to feel good, including being ourselves, including being in a relationship, including like living the fullest life.
How do you get people out from their head to step into that heart space? Like, do you have any specific ideas or tools? What works?
It's practice.
Right.
Because we're conditioned to not be in our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And as one of my other coaches speaks about, information is not transformation. We can understand it, and that means nothing. We have to embody it. So all of the modules, if you will, and all of our programs are embodiment elements, because it's about embodying it. So we have to live it, breathe it, and literally breathe it sometimes, to get into our bodies, to make friends with our emotions, which, oh, by the way, are both the language of intimacy and the barometers of our soul. And so that they're inner guidance. And we have to have that inner relationship. And again, we are conditioned not to feel.
Right.
And we're very much conditioned to be out there, which is outside of our bodies. But all of our pleasure, all of our experience of love, all of the ways that we know we're in love, all of the ways that we are led to pleasure, all of the ways that we are led to ecstasy, even if it's the ecstasy of being ourselves, it's all in the body. So we've got to make that relationship with the body. And it takes practice.
Yeah.
Because we'll forget and we'll try and it'll be uncomfortable and I don't get it and all of those things. Like, I swore I didn't get it. I can't feel. I don't know. I for years, I'm trying to learn to feel. I'm a practitioner of feeling things and I can't feel. And then little by little, I found the feeling body. And now people are sometimes like, oh my gosh, how do you feel that much? How do you?
Wow.
Years.
Wow.
It's years of building that relationship. Now, fortunately, the availability of facilitators and programs and trainings and practices is way more than it was in 2001, 2002, 2003 when I started this journey. But yeah, it's practice and support. And I would also say, don't do it alone. Like, be in community, get support.
Yeah. I really love that you said about embodiment, because in one of the previous speakers, we also talked about intellectual knowledge without action. It's really just an information that doesn't mean anything. And even here in this summit, just listening and not really following what your heart is calling is just another file of information.
Exactly. Absolutely. You're so right.
So embodiment, I love that word, how you put it together. It's just beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. There will be a link in the chat where will be all information about you and of course a free gift. Do you want to talk about it?
Yes, and I'm sorry to say I have 3 different gifts and I am not remembering which one right now that I gave to you.
Oh, okay, so they will find out when
you can't see the link either. It's going to be one. I'll tell you real quickly, and you can find all of these, but the direct link that you have it will probably take you to the Ecstatic
Intimacy.
That's what I thought. Okay, that's what I thought it was, but before I said. So the Jumpstart Kit, there's a singles version and there's a couples version. And it's going to take you through 4 different aspects of ecstatic intimacy. including some ways to explore the masculine and the feminine. This roadmap of authenticity, intimacy, ecstasy, it will take you through that. It will take you through some things to explore in how you approach sex and sexuality, and different versions for the singles and couples, and then some specific support for singles and couples. So it will dive into all aspects of what we just spoke about.
Oh, fantastic. I'm intrigued. I want to get the free gift too.
Awesome. Would love that.
What you're sharing and your energy is just perfect. It's beautiful. It's vibrant. It's alive. It's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. That is the passion, because that wasn't true in the beginning. And it is such the gift when we come into this relationship with love, 360 degrees.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you so much for saying yes and showing up and coming here and sharing. And you're a final speaker, so we can finalize. We finish this summit on a high note, on a love note. How beautiful is that?
I love that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye. If anybody have any questions for Joanna, drop in a chat.
Please.
So she would be happy to respond.
Beautiful.
Otherwise, we had a full day with so many fun and really knowledgeable and inspiring, powerful speakers in health and wealth, and of course, love and intimacy. And I hope people who joined us, we had a lot of people in and out, gain a lot of knowledge, they gain a lot of wisdom, and they also are having their aha moments, knowing what steps to take and how to shift the mindset and what to do and what really pulls you, where your heart is going.